What are we doing back in Fiji, Jack?
They shipped a bunch of new people to Fiji. We have to talk about them, I think.
Gosh. Another one?
Another one. And this time they have a weird number. Just 18 people. They took all the old people from all the other casts they rejected and were like, put them here. So
we will indeed talk about it. But hello, castaways. Welcome to the Cup TV, part of the Currently Unnamed Podcast Network, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. I've got water always. But I am also drinking a beautiful iced coffee out of my Corey King tumbler. If you know, you know.
But is it from Duncan?
No, it's homemade. It's actually, funny enough, coffee from one of my favorite coffee places in Flagstaff, Arizona, where I lived for 5 years. I don't live there anymore, but my cousin does. And I saw him on Monday and he brought me coffee. So it's very nice.
Aw, that's only slightly sacrilegious.
A little bit, but you know, it's good coffee. And I need all the coffee I can get because we've got 18 new survivors to talk about.
Oh my god, yeah. And hello, my name is Jack. I am the resident game designer of the panel, and I myself have opened the 18 new updates account for every single person on this cast. So if you are looking for updates on anyone, if they fucking breathe in an episode, you can expect me to post it. I will not be able to sleep for like three days after any Survivor episode.
Good. We'll have to steal you away on a Thursday to talk about the episodes, probably.
But yeah, there's just going to be a weird dip in every single account.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, it is time for Survivor 48.
Yay!
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 I'm like, could CBS and channel 4 in Australia, could they not communicate about times? Like, no. We're literally gonna have Survivor 4 days a week.
Whoop. I mean, granted,
oh god,
3 of those 4 days are Channel 4's problem, but you know,
it's fine. It happens. But yes, we are going to dive into Survivor 48. We've got 18 lovely, wonderful people to talk about on this year occasion. And we're going to do that and talk about all of them and talk about our first impressions of them. But before we do, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things competitive and some non-competitive reality TV. And make sure to check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, and our Patreon for exclusive content and early access. All that lovely, wonderful stuff. We've got a lot of fun Survivor things coming down the pipeline for you all with this season, with Australian Survivor, Brains vs. Brawn 2 coming out very, very soon. So stay tuned. We've got some fun Survivor things. So without further ado, we are going to talk about how ugly this logo is. I hate it.
The first thing that comes to my mind is this logo feels fan-made.
It does.
And as someone who knows probably like the most well-known fan-made logo designer in the industry, this is an insult to her directly. What the fuck is this? This looks like you threw together a bunch of things from random PNGs you could find online and put it into a logo.
Yeah.
It's not good. It feels too cartoony.
Yeah, I agree with that. What I will say I like the moon with the immunity statues. I think that is my favorite part of it. This is also the first logo since Winners at War to have the number in the bottom half of the logo.
Yeah. The top half of the logo I really like. The bottom half.
Me too.
The bottom half, why are those eyes like
why? Just why? Yeah, I'm like, Because every logo gives us a clue into the season or something like that. And I'm like, what is, huh?
And
Are
we
they
also
spy tracks for people? And that's how people, like, are they going to be, like, already built? Is that what we're doing? I don't know.
but yeah, and then the number. The number is just
Yeah, with the rope and the bamboo, like,
it
okay,
just
so
no.
if we see bamboo and rope things like this on the season, then I guess that's an indication of something, I guess. I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
just called a shelter. That's called shelter and
yeah,
what the challenges are made of. It's not.
yeah, yeah. I do think, though, it is time for us to do a Survivor logo tier list. I think that is something we might need to do
We'll get to that.
in the
Yeah,
near
we kind of have
future.
to.
I think maybe after 50.
After 50, yeah. So
I
we
think
can have a
after
nice
50 is going to be
clean
a good time to
number,
do it.
which means I hope you'll stick around until probably summer of 2026.
No, we're getting it this year. We're getting 50 this year, Jack.
Oh, the logo for it, yeah.
Oh no,
No, because we have 49. I was like, wait, no, am I?
No, 49, I believe, will be airing in like July, August. We're getting 50 this year. To my knowledge, we're getting 50 this year.
Oh my god.
I know.
Oh my god.
Well, to be fair, there have been 3 seasons a year for the last couple of years.
Have there really?
I believe so.
As far back as I can honestly remember, unless you're also including Australian, we've only had like
Is it really 2 a year?
2 seasons a year because of like that's how we've gone. It's been almost 25 years. If we had 3 seasons a year at any point,
this is the 25th anniversary.
Exactly.
Well, okay. Then maybe
not.
It was 2 seasons a year. I don't know anymore.
We're not here to count. We're here to give.
We're here to talk about survivors. And speaking of, here's 18 of them.
Yay.
Self-described by Mike Bloom as one of the beefiest casts ever.
Oh yeah, like just literally, god damn it, I'm horrible with names, but I want to say Mike, Matt, David, Lord. Christ. David, not even close.
No.
Yeah, no. David is just the immediate standout of anyone on this cast.
We'll talk about him shortly.
We'll talk about him because unfortunately the archetype stands.
Well, yes.
Yes.
Well, yes. So we do have tribe designations as well already. We have tribe photos. We'll talk about those at the end. But each person that we have on our slideshow, the color of their name corresponds to the starting tribe that they are on. We are going in the order as revealed by Entertainment Weekly, aka alphabetically by last name. Thank you, Jack, for helping me realize that. It's been a long day already of trying to Survivor 48. So without further ado, we're going to dive into our first contestant. That is Stephanie Berger. She is 38 from New York City, currently in Brooklyn, which is also just still New York City, but whatever. She is a tech product lead. She was a teacher for a few years, but now, works in higher business tech things. 3 words to describe her would be ambitious, outgoing, and resilient. My favorite question amongst the questions that they ask is, what previous players do they identify with, and who do you think you will most play like? Stephanie said, and a lot of people on this cast did, we'll talk about it, said, I don't know if there's ever been a previous player quite like me, but she hopes to have Natalie Anderson's fierceness, Jam's humor and strategy while forging her own path to the win. both of which are people that I appreciate. What she values in an alliance partner is information, someone who puts the T in loyalty. Hey, Stephanie, we put the T in reality. I see you.
Yeah,
I
no,
see
we
you,
see it.
queen.
We have the exact same pun structure. So, come on,
100%.
by.
We love pun structure. Let me see. Among favorite hobbies, talking, which I love, and making elaborate Mardi Gras costumes. Her pet peeves include QR code menus in restaurants, and when someone accidentally steps on the back of her flip-flops. And why Stephanie will be the sole survivor. When you peel back all the layers, Survivor is about making it to the end, sitting next to two people you can beat. The adaptability and resilience to make it to the end, the smarts to make the right moves along the way, and the storytelling ability to put it all in front of the jury. They shouldn't let me get anywhere near Final Tribal.
So she definitely seems like someone who has actively watched the show and was not basically told, hey, go watch it in like the past 2 years. She seems like someone who has been on it for a while.
Yeah.
And Teach for America, we've seen people who have straight up done that program before and do very well on the show. She's also someone who has been in a male-dominated field and told them to go fuck themselves. So I'm very much on board. There's always an immediate fear of, oh, a woman is very upfront and is willing to not just kneel down. Great, she's the first boot from her tribe.
I too am a little bit worried about Stephanie in the early parts of the game. But to that point exactly, she talked about how her how part of Teaching for America, or how her work with Teach for America drove home the importance of strong relationships. And she talked about how juries often, but not always, vote for the person they have the strongest relationship with. So I think if she can do a good job in the early days on her tribe at, forging those relationships, I think she'll be good. I did love as well that she talked about you can only armchair quarterback for so long while watching Survivor. And so I do really appreciate that. I'm intrigued by her. I'm excited to hear more about her in the coming days and weeks. Also, I just want to say, as a fellow podcaster, world's biggest shout out to Mike Bloom. Because our jobs are already hard enough talking about this show. And Mike Bloom does a really, really great job at putting together information and getting us all of this preseason stuff. So thank you, Mike. We appreciate you and all of your hard work and dedication. So thanks. Appreciate it. But yeah, I really like Stephanie. I just think if she can get through the early part of the game, I see her going far.
Yeah. As long as she can get through the early part of the game, not be clocked as like a huge super fan, I think she just makes a couple good allies and gets through the merge pretty easily. In my mind, she is either a really unfortunate first boot from a tribe because something happens where someone just gets annoyed or threatened by her and then everyone turns on her, or she makes a pretty deep run for the end game.
Yeah, I see it. Next up, Shauhin Davari. Now, he's an interesting case. I don't know how much you've read up, Jack.
I have known about this man probably more than I want to.
For a while. So he was the male alternate for Survivor 46. And as we know, there was another alternate from Survivor 46 that did recently get on the show. Don't know if you've heard of her. Her name's Rachel Lamont.
Yeah, just,
Um,
you know. You
so
know.
could Survivor 46 make it 3 in a row?
We also know something else about this man that was more circulated.
Uh-huh.
There is a very high profile case, including multiple documentaries about
Uh-huh.
a woman that he dated.
Yep.
Dated is the wrong word. That she preyed on him because he was a minor. So he has a track record, and I mean, I don't. It's a weird thing to like look all this up and be like, oh, that's where I know you from. That's strange, but I mean, he is the first Persian man to play the game.
Yep.
He is currently a debate professor. I could not tell you exactly what university off the top of my head.
If he's in Costa Mesa, California, it's probably one of the UCs.
That's what I assumed, but I was not going to put it anywhere down.
Something like that. But yeah, he talked in his bio about coaching a forensics team. So he does like speech and debate and theater. And talked about one of his like proudest accomplishments is reestablishing his team that after the pandemic went from 70 students to 7. So that's wild. 3 words to describe him would be charismatic, driven, and clever. Previous players that he identifies with, he said probably Penner, which is a wild pick. I gotta be honest. It is a wild pick. But he said he had an ability to relate to people that was special. He pushed too hard at times, bit his nose to spite his face even. But I think I'll play a new era version of his game. What he values in an alliance partner is a strategist. He talked a lot about having a lot of like harebrained ideas. I need someone to tell me I'm stupid. Pet peeves, folks who miss the forest for the trees, / inability to see big picture, / lack of appreciation, and being interrupted. I love the sound of my voice.
Which
sure. I hate the sound of mine, so I'm glad somebody likes the sound of his own voice because I hate mine. But why will Shauhin be the sole survivor? He said, I'm the perfect combo, socially savvy, strategically competent without being over the top, athletically underestimated. Resilience is in my blood. In any game I play, my eyes stay on the prize.
I will also say, he does specifically also like chess and board games, so he's just naturally strategic. And he also likes podcasts. So hi.
Hey
Hello.
Shauhin.
How are
Yeah,
you?
I unfortunately I will not be hiding my thirst over this man for the entire season.
Oh, I didn't expect you to.
Because God. Like there's some attractive men and some very beautiful women on this cast too. But it's Shauhin for me. Sorry. Not sorry
Yeah.
at all.
I did have a different person in mind who was mine up until he talked about strategy, and I was like, yep, that is the exact archetype this would fit into. So
David.
Yes.
Great, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I think Shauhin is really interesting. I'm intrigued to see how he's going to play. Especially knowing that alternates, for the most part, do decently, at least in recent history, kind of with the exception of Tiana. She's kind of the only alternate that hasn't really done as well, but I also think Tiana was robbed.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
So,
for some reason, we always get alternates. I think it is genuinely just because alternates know what it's like to be so close and then get
yeah.
snubbed, so they just play the game better.
And Survivor does really, really well at bringing back alternates to
Mhm.
play future seasons. So I do appreciate that he's on. I'm very excited for him nonetheless.
Oh, yeah.
Let's move to Eva Erickson. She's 24 from Eagan, Minnesota, currently in Providence, Rhode Island. She's a PhD candidate in, I wrote it down, fluid engineering at Brown.
Yep.
So that's very fun. 3 words to describe her are energetic, driven, and competitive. To my knowledge, she is the first openly autistic contestant on Survivor.
Yes, but I mean, first openly, we have had multiple people
Oh,
describe
there are
themselves as on the
this,
autism
yes.
ADHD
Yeah.
spectrum before. So this is just the first definitive point in autism itself, which is
Yeah.
an interesting thing to make a hallmark.
I mean, I appreciate it. I was gonna say, I don't know about you. I feel seen and I appreciate that. I was like, I appreciate the acknowledgement and, talking about it. I'm really excited to get to
Yeah.
hear more about her story throughout the show. She said she wants to go on Survivor to show the world a version of autism they don't always portray in mainstream media. She says
Yes.
her autism experience is unique and will give people hope that even if they're on the spectrum, they can still accept who they are and be successful, which I love. She's talked about being the first and only girl to play men's hockey, first at Georgia Tech, and then also at Brown. Previous players she identifies with the most, Denise and Lindsay. I'm assuming 42 Lindsay and not season 3 Lindsay. But if it was
Yes.
season 3 Lindsay, I'd be kind of here for it.
It's gotta be 42 because it also does mention that they were super strong and absolute beast in challenges. That does pretty heavily apply to
That fits
Lindsay.
Lindsay, yeah. What does she value in an alliance partner? Loyalty. She's a very loyal person. She said, I intend to form strong alliances that I can trust. I don't intend to play a game of blindsiding those who trust me. I want to find a number one to stick with through and through. Pet peeves include lazy people and wet socks. And why will Eva be the sole survivor? I'm gritty as hell. I will work harder than anyone else in this game. I also am smart and smart enough to hide my intelligence. This is a game of minimizing perceived threat level. So by emphasizing my physical abilities while downplaying my intelligence, I'll be able to fly under the radar to success.
Yeah.
I like her.
I like her as well. I will say one of the things that is, I think, the least portrayed in media is autistic women. I want to
Yes.
say specifically that subsection is very small. In addition, just autistic diagnosis in women in general is a lot lower due to a variety of factors. So I am very excited to see her play.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is interesting to see. We do obviously have, I want to say she's the youngest on the cast.
I think she
which,
is.
Which is definitely interesting. This is once again a cast that skews a lot older.
It skews a lot. I think we were talking about the average age being like 35 or 36, something like that.
30, I think the number that I had seen was like 35.2 for an average, and the mean being 34. There's a lot within the range of like 30 to 39 on this cast, with a couple below and a couple above.
She is the youngest, by far, actually. The next oldest person is 28.
Yeah. I am very interested, but I feel like she could be, because unfortunately, because she is significantly younger than the rest of her tribe mates. I don't even, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the 28 or 29-year-old are on her tribe.
I think Star is on her tribe.
Yes.
And Star is 29, I believe. Well,
okay. But yeah, Star is naturally going to relate to the older members versus her. So I feel like Eva might be an easy out here. We're just like, unfortunately, you kind of just get snuffed early. And I feel like if we see too much about her in the first couple episodes, we'll kind of know.
Here's the thing, though. She is very physically capable. And I
that is a good
I don't exactly remember who's on her tribe, but if she's bringing it in the physical challenges, I think she'll be fine. And I like when she's talking about downplaying her intelligence and kind of focusing more on her physical ability. I think that's a really good way to go about at least the start of the game, because she's a fan. She knows that physical ability is a lot of what perpetuates throughout the early tribal portions of Survivor. So if she can prove herself, basically, and I hate having to say that for women, but that is kind of the reality of Survivor. If she can prove herself to her tribe that she is physically capable, I think she'll be fine, at least through the first couple of votes.
Yeah. I mean, the other two, the rest of her tribe, just for clarity, Star, who is another athlete, so she could get outshined by that. Bianca, though, is just a consultant. So I feel like if we are going to throw the tribe strength argument, she might not be the first pick, but at the same time, we just don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see.
But I'm glad she's here.
Oh, very glad.
Very glad. Let's move to Kyle. Another Kyle. We'll see how this one fares. 31 from Roanoke, Virginia, currently in Brooklyn, is an attorney, but will not be talking about how he is an attorney. He did also teach for a few years. This is a teaching cast. Lots of teachers on this cast, whether currently or previously. 3 words to describe him would be fun, crafty, and social. Previous players he identifies with and will play like. He said Davey, he was unabashedly himself in light of the stereotypes he noted that were constantly forced on him as a black man. And Jay, I think he's one of the most underrated Survivor players ever, especially given the obstacles he faced in a season with a very strong cast. I agree with both of those statements, and I love Jay. What he values in an alliance partner is an open mind and willingness to play the game with intention while still having fun. Pet peeves include uppity people and those who look down on others, and styrofoam, which I kind of just love.
I'm there.
I love styrofoam.
Specifically styrofoam. Not an issue at all during the game.
Love it. Not at all going to be an issue, but I live for the fact that it's just styrofoam. I live.
It's just styrofoam. Styrofoam is fucking annoying.
And why will he be the sole survivor? He said, for a multitude of reasons. I've been forced to interact with many different types of people in many different environments. I'm a people person with diverse experiences. It should help.
Yeah. I mean, Kyle, from what I've seen through everything we've seen from him, is someone who is going to be very personable. I could easily see him forming or being brung into a majority. So I really, honestly, I don't see any sort of problem for him until like merge. I could see him potentially if the majority alliance is like, okay, we need to pick someone off, give them satisfying stuff. My fear is that it might end up being him, but I think Kyle is probably going to do fine. And I mean, this is what, like the 5th, 6th, 7th time that we had someone hide that they're an attorney on the show.
Oh, probably more than that.
Yeah.
In the new era, probably 6th or 7th. So,
oh yeah,
yeah, I am intrigued to see how he's going to be able to navigate that. Otherwise, frankly, his bio did not give a whole lot of like standout stuff. It's mostly him talking about being an attorney. So, I think his story is interesting. How he got to Survivor is very interesting. He said he wants to trust in people more than advantages, which I think is a really good way to go about Survivor. And
yeah,
he's interesting.
Interesting.
Definitely. Mitch is wildly interesting. 34 from Waco, Texas. He's a PE coach. 3 words to describe him are joyful, relational, and competitive. And he is the first contestant in 48 seasons to play with a speech impediment.
Yeah.
Work.
Good.
Yeah, I love that we're still having firsts. I hate that it took 48 seasons, but I do love that there are still firsts to be had for Survivor. So I'm happy to see it.
I do think it's a positive feedback loop of, because we are getting naturally more diverse casts due to the mandate, we are just, people are seeing that more diverse casts are happening. So people who were afraid to apply before are now applying, and we're seeing a really nice loop. Mitch has been, Mitch is a first generation college student. He is he's done Ironmans, full marathons, trail races.
He ran. He's an ultra He ran like an Ironman half marathon before going on Survivor. Like,
ow.
Yeah, no, But then, so he says all of this like meat shield thing, and he said he wants as many meat shields around him as possible because he's also a meat shield. But then, in previous players that he identifies with the most, he said, I resonate with Spencer Bledsoe and Joe Englund because of their competitiveness and love for the game. John Cochran, specifically the second time he played, he wasn't afraid to make moves, and he played to win when others probably underestimated him. So he's kind of, I have to say, like, I like Mitch. I really like where he's coming from, but all of the things he's saying are kind of going back and forth, because he also, in an alliance partner, is valuing someone who's easy to talk to and listens well, level-headed, and understands that the game is built on strong relationships, but then is also talking about wanting meat shields around him. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm not, but why will he?
I just don't know.
I don't know. Why will he be the sole survivor, though? Because of my inability to build relationships because of my ability, not inability. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Because of my ability to build relationships with people, I'm non-threatening and can use that to my advantage in this game. I thrive in a little chaos, and when things get challenging is when I thrive.
Yeah, obviously, I think because he is someone who has a lot of endurance, I don't really see any issues with a tribe strength argument.
Yeah.
Although, if someone is looking to unfortunately break that tribe strength argument, I think he might be a very easy target, because we've seen it be pushed so much. I do think he's probably going to make a lot of connections really fast. So
I agree.
I feel like he is probably going to be able to get through and at least initial tribal phase. If we're probably going to have a swap at some point. I pray that we do.
Yeah.
So, and from there, he seems like someone who can be ultra physical. Endurance challenges are literally just what he does. So I see Mitch doing very, very well in the game.
I could see it. Hey, let's talk about Hughley, 30, from Philadelphia, currently in Simi Valley, California. She's a marketing professional. 3 words to describe her are outgoing, kind, and driven. She talked a lot in her bio about representation and being a strong representative for young Black and POC women, which I absolutely love. Previous players that she identifies with the most, she said, I really vibe with Marianne because she played the game as her true quirky self. But I also love the tenacity of Drea. Her go-getter attitude was inspiring. I think I'll play the game like Marianne in the sense of being authentically me. She values trust in an alliance partner, someone who's themselves observant, has their fingers on the pulse of the different dynamics at camp. Pet peeves, people who say not to be offensive, but, and proceed to offend you. People who smack when they chew. People who say the word moist. Sorry, say.
Yeah.
People who pronounce the word salmon incorrectly.
How else would be pronouncing
salmon.
it? Salmon? Like
salmon.
salmonella?
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, those people deserve
no,
to burn.
I'm good. And why will say be the sole survivor? My social skills are unmatched. I have the true gift of gab, but also an ability to make others feel valued, seen, and heard.
Yeah. I mean, it genuinely would not surprise me to see her do really well. I mean, she has she got a job at NBC post college. She has an Associated Press award. She very much is someone who can project and connect with people. It would not surprise me to see her jump into a majority alliance very early on. And especially create a women's alliance, potentially bring in one guy just to have a majority. I am very much looking forward to see how Sai does during the game. And as a fun fact, she was Nala on The Lion King, specifically off Broadway, not on Broadway, but you know, close enough.
It's say, not sigh. It's say, like literally the word say.
Oh my God. I could have sworn you said it the other way, but no.
No, I said say. I said, hey, it's say.
Yeah,
She was also
thank you.
She was also hit by a bus in college.
Oh. Oh my
yeah.
God. Okay.
She also talked about she struggles to ground herself and she's very nosy. And I don't like comparing Survivor contestants. I just fear she may end up similarly to how our dear sweet Soda did. And I hope that's not the case.
I pray it's not the case.
I really like her. I think she's got a really infectious energy. And I think if she can get in with her tribe very early, I think she'll be good. But I'm ever so slightly worried for our dear Say. But I like her a lot. She also quit her job right before coming on Survivor and wanted like a full career shift. So I think that's really cool. And yeah, I think she's going to be a very interesting character to watch. Next up, Joe Hunter. He's 45, currently in West Sacramento, California. He's a fire captain. He's one of the 2 firefighters on this cast. Somehow. I'm like, we're getting 2 of them. All right.
Really?
3 words to describe him are courageous, compassionate, and loving / kick-ass dad, which is not 3 words, Joe. So therefore, you're immediately on my He talked a lot about applying for Survivor and wanting to be on Survivor because of his sister. They thought about applying a while ago together. She was unfortunately taken by domestic violence. So now he is doing it in her honor, which I absolutely love. Previous player that he identifies with, Cody. Well-rounded and loved. All right. What will he value in an alliance? Yeah, no, I don't want to talk anymore about it. What he values in an alliance partner is loyal. Don't go crazy when things get wild. Just be normal and cool, please. Pet peeves include rude people, selfish people, mean people, people who tailgate you / cut you off while driving, bad hugs, people who don't make eye contact, basically anything acting like a, quote, butthole. And why will he be the sole survivor? I've been through so much loss, pain, and struggle. This has given me the power to overcome anything. This has given me the power to overcome and be the next sole survivor. He also said he wants to lean into like the Firehouse family vibe. And also talked about how he only, before coming on the show, only watched the challenges and the tribal councils of every new era episode of Survivor. I am going to say this. I really appreciate why he's playing Survivor. I really appreciate that. I think that's a really great story. And I'm really, really happy that he's on the show. He's doing this for his sister. I really, really like all of that. Everything else about him screams early boot to me.
Everything else about him screams first tribal council flame out. Actually, that's not far enough. First tribal council nuke out. Like,
yeah, I'm just not.
Everything reads to me as he is going to attempt to force a majority alliance based on what he wants, and other people are going to go, no.
Yeah, and he's got some strong personalities on his starting tribe.
Oh, yeah.
That I do not think are going to allow him to do
I think most of his starting tribe, if I looked at it as a whole,
I think every single person on his starting tribe,
probably the odd one out in terms of that.
Yep. Yeah. So I worry a little bit for our dear Joe.
Yeah.
I do. But hey, again, love his reasoning for being on Survivor.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
Is he also the no.
He's
the
not
the second oldest person on the cast, I want to say.
I think he's third.
Is he third? Oh my god.
I believe so.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I was gonna say 2 of the 3 oldest people on the cast being related to firefighting. Weird.
We'll talk about it.
But unfortunately, I don't think they're ever gonna meet.
Well, we'll find out. Kamilla Karthigesu, 31. She is our resident Canadian because we got to have one. Every new era season needs a Canadian, and I, for one, am thrilled about that. But she's currently in Foster City, California. She's a software engineer. But she wants to be a game developer. 3 words to describe her are silly, expressive, and impatient. She's funny. I like her a lot. Just that's off the bat. And what she values in an alliance partner is someone with a sense of humor. It's so hard to be around unfunny people and people who don't know how to have fun, which I love. Previous players she identifies with, she said identify with the most, Marianne. She was her fun, goofy self. Played most like, as much as I'd love to play a dominant game like Tony, I think I'll end up playing like Erica. Our appearances and mannerisms are so unthreatening, and I think that can help me sneak my way to the end. Pet peeves. People who message me, hello, or can I ask you a question without actually asking their questions until I respond. Every time this happens, I lose a year off my life. I'm dead now. Something we would not know from looking at her, and I find this very interesting. She played on a women's semi-professional Valorant team in 2021 and placed top 16 in the North American Women's League. I kind of love that. And why will she be the sole survivor? People won't perceive me as a threat. I'm 5'1", so I'm not a physical threat. And I have a shit vocabulary, so I don't sound smart when I speak. But I promise there's a brain up there, and it has at least one wrinkle.
Yeah, I love Kamilla so much. Just from everything. I mean, her exact life experience, I think, is perfect for the game of Survivor. It is literally having something not go your way and being able to directly say, okay, what do I change? What do I manipulate in order to make sure things keep going in the right direction? And this has happened to her multiple times, and she's recovered every single time. I also will say, someone directly dropping Maple Story into anything related to Survivor, that is never something I thought would come up. And semi-professional Valorant team, I will have to look up exactly what team that is, but I mean, that takes a lot of good communication and high level strategy. So it would not surprise me to see her go very far. I think just naturally being funny will take her really far in the game.
Yeah.
Also, she's Canadian, so automatically she's going to do amazing.
Yeah. She also talked about she's looking to make good TV. And I really do appreciate that, honestly. And she also talked about subliminally wanting to cause like a fluid season and not loving the like tribe strong dynamics when people get to merge.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. So I am a big fan already of Miss Kamilla. Here's David, the hot one. And that's probably all he's going to provide on this season. He's 39 in Buena Park, California. He's a stunt performer. He does stunt work he like plays superheroes in theme parks and does like that kind of stunting stuff as well.
I want to say it's almost directly Universal in California. At least I remember seeing that.
So. Yeah, I believe so. 3 words to describe him are passionate, daring, and curious. Previous players that he identifies with, he said, I'm compared to Jonathan Young a lot, and there are obviously similarities, but truthfully, I cannot think of a player that I would be like, though admittedly, I have not seen every season of Survivor. He is one of those people that from the jump was like, I haven't watched much of the show. I applied on a whim and got on. And I mean, looking at him, of course he got on Survivor.
Of course he got
on a whim. Of course he did.
Of course he did.
What will he value in an alliance partner is kindness. This is a ruthful game at times. Feelings will be hurt, tears shed, and at some point betrayal will hit. But honoring, knowing someone is genuine in their kindness makes trusting them easier and forgiving them possible. Pet peeves include a lack of consideration for those around you and someone being rude or ill-mannered. He said his favorite movie of all time is Notting Hill, which I think is a really interesting choice. And why will he be the sole survivor? Self-awareness. I know who I am, what I'm capable of, and more importantly, how others will perceive me. I will have to face all of these and will use them to my advantage.
So one of the things that I specifically picked up on with David is that he is going to go as hard as in challenges as much as he can. So Jonathan Young is a very apt comparison. With that said, for that almost exact reason, I see him going out in early merge. This is someone who can win as many challenges as they want, will be valued for tribe strength, and then the minute tribes are no longer a thing, will be thrown out a window. He also has done, just from the tapes that I've seen, if you can think of an extreme sport, he's probably done it. Like genuinely any. There was deep scuba diving, ice climbing, let me see the other one, skydiving, jet skiing. There was so much. It is incredible, like the repertoire that he has. But yeah, I mean, this is someone who very much is ultra physical, and I do not expect to have too much on the other side of it.
You know, I would agree with you when it comes to someone like David. However, he's got a very good understanding of his physicality and not only his like strengths and all of that, but understanding how people are going to perceive him. I don't know. I think he could be a big wild card on this season. I do think likely, I agree with you. I think a lot of the people that know Survivor really well are going to target him early because of literally looking like Captain America.
Yeah.
But I think if he can prove tribe strength to his tribe and not be an overwhelming douchebag, which I don't see him to be, but it could happen. I think he's got enough self-awareness to where it would not surprise me if he made a deep run. So we shall see.
We will see.
Indeed. Let's move to Thomas. Gay. Of course, they cast a gay with a mustache. God damn.
Oh yeah, of course they did.
Of course. He's 34 from the Woodlands, Texas, currently in LA. He's a music executive. Specifically, he works in like new talent acquisition, which is very fun. 3 words to describe him are outgoing, emotional, and loyal. Previous players that he identifies with the most is Sophie Clark. The woman has it all: smart, savvy, personable, and knows when to kick it into high gear and when to blend in with the pack. His favorite hobbies are really interesting and so stereotypically gay that I have to bring them up. Including but not limited to The Real Housewives, homemade ice cream, reading, cold brew, and his dogs.
So this isn't just like, it's not just like stereotypical gay. It is stereotypical Los Angeles gay.
And I haven't decided whether I mean that in a disrespectful manner or not.
We'll see where it goes.
We'll see where it goes. I mean, I'm woo gay it up. I love gay. Gay on Survivor, big fan. Love the gays, obviously. We'll see how it goes.
I was not ready for woo gay. God damn it.
Woo gay. Gay it up.
Gay it up.
If you know that reference, we can.
I do. Yeah.
I know you do. I love it.
I have problems. Keep going.
Yeah, same. Yeah. His pet peeves include, and these are maybe my favorite pet peeves: being late, traffic, and losing to UCLA. So if you needed to know where he went to school, it wasn't UCLA. And why will he be the sole survivor? I'm going to hoodwink these people into thinking I'm not a threat until it's too late and there's nothing they can do. And I live for it. He also talked about knowing that he's going to be a massive social threat going into the game. So he wants to manufacture a rivalry with someone in order to make it seem like he's not good with everyone on his tribe. The amount of metagaming going on right now, I'm kind of living for it. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, yeah. No, Thomas is someone who super fans are underneath him in knowledge. It is impressive. He even says that he works in a viper pit on a daily basis. And yeah, the only industry that I can think of it as probably more toxic than games is music. So yeah. It would not surprise me to know that he has dealt with people in various ways. It would not surprise me to see him go really far. The only thing that slightly worries me is obviously being clocked as a massive super fan super early, and also out of the 3 men on his tribe, he is potentially the weakest. So if they need a tribe strength argument, guess who they're going to look at? Yeah.
I mean, I like him. It seems like he's here to make good TV.
Oh, yeah.
And I appreciate a homosexual that's here to make good TV. So, you know what? I'm on board. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So, period. Let's move to Kevin. Kevin is 34 from Fremont, California, currently in Livermore, California. I've never heard of that city, but sure. He is a finance manager. 3 words to describe him are energetic, social, and determined. He talked about starting Survivor during Cook Islands and was really inspired by Yule. We love people inspired by Yule. But as far as previous players he identifies with and will play like, he talks about David versus Goliath being his favorite season. Great choice. He said, I identify with most of the Davids, being Christian, Nick, and Davey, because of their tenacity and grit to band together despite their appearances. I hopefully will play like Caleb from Survivor 45 and use my social charm to influence people, but hopefully not too charming where they will see me as a threat. Will he go out second in the merge after playing his shot in the dark and canceling every vote against him? We shall see.
We shall see.
What he values in an alliance partner is someone who's flexible enough to look at all the options. Doesn't mean we're wavering, but thoughtful in weighing out all the scenarios before coming to a decision. His pet peeve, people who are always late. Solid, a tad generic, but solid nonetheless. And why will he be the sole survivor? He said, I think I have the winning combination to be sole survivor. Athletic, social, and smart. Come on. I hope to charm my way to the $1 billion.
Yeah, I mean, I do have to look something up within his hobbies because I have no idea what Barry's boot camp is. It's a brand of boot camp.
It's a high profile gym boot camp situation. Think like Orange Theory on steroids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
So he's like a fit guy.
Oh yeah.
I do also love, he talked about one of his life experiences being working at Abercrombie and Fitch. And how those skills are going to help him in Survivor. And I'm like, honestly, work. Like, I'm not mad at that at all.
Of course.
I think that's fun. Yeah, I like him. None of his answers really stand out to me as like completely groundbreaking, but I think he's got a really good head on his shoulders. He clearly has a really good idea of his abilities. He knows that he's charming, and so he knows to not, lay it on too thick, but definitely give that charisma that is kind of needed to convince people to be on your side in Survivor. And hey, I'm here for it. I'm not too mad at it. So.
Yeah. I mean, he 100% makes it through the tribal stage. I could see him doing well during a merge. It would not surprise me if he went out early merge or made it like deep Caleb. Into the game. Yeah, exactly. Like Caleb.
We'll see. We'll see. Speaking of someone on his tribe, we have Cedrek. Cedrek is 45 in Greenville, South Carolina. He is a colorectal surgeon. Good for him.
Good for him.
3 words to describe him are dependable, determined, and conscientious. I'm very upset that his 3 adjectives were not alliterative, Cedrek. And I'm even more upset that they were not all C's or D's for that matter. It doesn't matter. I just want one or the other. Previous players that he identifies with, I'd like to think Earl Cole. Quiet confidence, but with the social game of Suri. And that is maybe the best answer I've heard all day.
100% the best answer out of
wherever Gia Worthy was when these bios dropped, she's got to be thrilled.
Through the moon. I can almost imagine.
I live. What he values in an alliance partner is transparency, reliability, and adaptability. I'm happy. Why are they not all abilities? Cedrek. I like you, Cedrek, but there's inconsistency. All right? Yeah. Pet peeves are just tardiness. Again, simple, generic, solid. He talked about how Survivor got him through his surgeon residency in college as well. That was a big part of his bio. Why will he be the sole survivor? My whole life has prepared me well to walk into this game and be successful. Now that the opportunity has been given to me, I'm ready to execute and walk into this victory.
Yeah, I mean, simply put, surgeons in this game, I mean, some have done really well and some have been second boot. But I mean, he is someone that can deal with things for a long time and does not get worried under stress. It would not surprise me if he is someone who gets brought into or starts a majority alliance as well. We just know he's a super fan because he's watched it the whole time.
He's a day one fan.
Yeah. So
yeah,
it genuinely would not surprise me to see Cedrek go very far.
Yeah, I think what you were talking about, I think he will probably be someone that's brought into an alliance. He talked a lot about wanting to lead from behind. And I think that's a really interesting strategy to go with. I mean, obviously we saw it attempt for someone who archetypally is very, very similar to him. I'm not going to name names. He might have busted his head on a challenge and got medevaced and brought back the very next season. If you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. I am worried that he might turn into Bruce. I'm not even going to lie to you.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm a little bit worried. His archetype does not always do the best on Survivor. We saw Bruce kind of, stronghold his way into, going out mid-merge. I would say personality-wise, he reminds me a lot also of Roxroy from Survivor 42. Obviously, they all fit that archetype. But I'm intrigued to see how Cedrek is going to do. I think he's got everything it takes. I mean, like you said, surgeons do typically do very good or very bad.
Yeah.
So
it's literally just can he survive the early game?
Yeah. I think the other thing that's going to aid Cedrek and a lot of the older players is that it is an older season. And he is on a tribe where the average tribe age is a little bit older. I think the green tribe, I'm forgetting names as of right now, and I'm scrolling to figure it out.
Mary,
the Vula tribe.
Stephanie, yeah.
Yeah, the Vula definitely swings a little bit older. So I'm intrigued to see how that goes for him. But overall, I like him. Again, very solid set of experiences that is going to help him in Survivor. So good on you. Let's move to Charity. Charity's 34 from Monroe, Michigan, currently in St. Petersburg, Florida. She's a flight attendant. 3 words to describe her are bold, fun, and loyal. She talked a lot about she was going to ministry school and then kind of had a revelation. She completely changed things around, lost 100 pounds, became a flight attendant, and started doing a lot of stuff with she's a content creator as well, so she does like fitness content and like coaching women through like their health journeys, which I think is really cool. Previous players that she identifies with the most. Tony is a very generic answer, but my favorite answer that maybe has ever been given ever on one of these questions, she said Jane Bright. Now, if you're out here referencing Jane Bright from Nicaragua, I'm an instant
what you're
fan.
doing. Yeah.
I am an instant fan. I am an instant fan of Charity. Immediately obsessed with her. What does she value in an alliance partner? Obviously loyalty and honesty, but also just someone who is fun to play the game with. Pet peeves include when people don't use headphones in public and blast their phones on full volume. I agree. Something we would never know from looking at you. Her answer, just straight up word for word, is your girl can sing. And why will she be the sole survivor? Because I don't quit. I always find a way when I'm all in on something. I really like her. I really, really like her. I think she's got an edge to her that I like. And the other really interesting thing that stood out to me in at least as much of the preseason stuff as I was able to watch before doing this, she talked about how, in her opinion, there have been no villains in the new era of Survivor. And she said she's willing to lean into it if she is given the opportunity, basically.
Yeah. Also, asterisks on no villains because she obviously couldn't have seen 47, because otherwise she would never have said that. But yeah, I'm very willing to see her just fuck with people. I mean,
I think it'll be fun.
we do already have that with, if I'm not mistaken, Kamilla, who is also willing to create rivalries and mess with people. So yeah,
and they're on the same starting tribe.
And they're on the same starting tribe, so it would not surprise me if they start fighting.
They're on the same starting tribe. I'm living. I can't wait. I think Charity's so fun. She also looks so much like one of my best friends from college.
Oh yeah, I mean,
like spitting image. I'm like, oh, okay.
She reads as someone who's going to make the season really enjoyable.
I hope so. Justin's up next. He's 29. The third youngest person on this cast, and he's 29. From Winthrop, Massachusetts. He's a pizzeria manager, but he went to Yale Law and was the youngest legislative aide in the Massachusetts State House. But then gave all of that up for a little bit to take over his family pizzeria. Shout out to Luigi's.
Yeah.
Shout out to Luigi's. 3 words to describe him are compassionate, hardworking, and resilient. Previous players that he identifies with, he talked about always being a big fan of Tython. He possesses a unique combination of intelligence, athleticism, wit, determination, and humor, and hair. Can't forget the hair. If I can emulate even a fraction of his approach, I think I can make a deep run. What he values in an alliance partner, he said, I really want to work with someone who we can just bounce ideas off of. You're out here in your own head, and to just have an outlet to talk strategy and advance both your games will be helpful. Shauhin. I think if they both make it to merge
together, yeah,
absolutely. Pet peeves include not reusing or recycling something, pants without pockets, which he calls useless, and I agree. People who interrupt someone when they are trying to make a point. And why will he be the sole survivor? Because I never back down from anything I've done in my life. The word quit is not in my vocabulary. I don't see that attitude changing on the island.
Yeah. I mean, it is interesting. I would be interested to hear why he specifically dropped that entire almost like law side of his life to jump into being a pizzeria manager. It's a family thing. I'm like 99% sure.
Yeah, his parents fell on like hardship or something and couldn't keep it up. Yeah. So he decided to take over for his family.
Aww.
I like him. He fits a very interesting archetype that we've seen do successful over previous seasons. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see how he's going to do.
I am very intrigued to see how he does. I feel like he's going to be the one that kind of brings tribes the tribe almost together. And honestly, I could see him forming an early alliance, just get something. So
I can see it.
He definitely feels like the head of a group here.
I can see it. Bianca Roses, 33, from West Orange, New Jersey. We've got a Jerseyan in the house. She's a PR consultant, but she recently started her own PR business, so good for you, gal. 3 words to describe her are bold, friendly, and enthusiastic. She's a huge super fan. I think she is the biggest super fan on the cast. I would say probably her and Cedrek, I think, are the biggest fans of the game. And Amongst previous players she identifies with the most, she listed a couple, including Dee, Kenzie, Marianne, and Michelle. They are badass, strong-willed, kind, and played impeccable social games. She said, I persuade for a living. I persuade multi-million-dollar companies to work with me. I persuade people. I persuade journalists to write about my clients. And I'll persuade my heart out on the island for 26 days. By working for myself, I need to believe in myself and rely on myself in order to get paid. What she values in an alliance partner is vibes. Someone who I can genuinely connect with, can work with, can laugh with, can brainstorm with, and can be cutthroat with. Who was talking about laughing and being funny? Kamilla. I need Bianca and Kamilla in the merge together. Period. I love it. I love it. I love it. Pet peeves include indecisiveness and mean people. Why will she be the sole survivor? I've been practicing and honing my skills my entire life. My successful career in public relations has given me the tools I need to win people over. Spin a story. I never take anything personally and keep going. PR is not for the faint of heart, and neither is Survivor. I'm ready to win.
Honestly, the biggest question I have reading through her bio, what the fuck is Roller Coaster Camp, and how can I get in?
Yeah, why didn't I go to Roller Coaster Camp?
Yeah, what the fuck, Mom?
Yeah.
That sounds like me. Being me.
I'm also really excited to hear her talk so much about how she loves the state of New Jersey.
Oh, so much. I gotta double check something. I think West Orange is like relatively close to me. I'm also right by the Jersey Shore.
I was gonna say you are also in dear sweet Jersey.
It's a good hour. It's a lot more southern Jersey. Wait. No, okay. Nope, I'm an idiot. It's actually much more northern Jersey. Okay, I don't know where shit is in this state, so just ignore me. But I mean, based off of just strong superfan vibes, I can see her doing really well. Mm-hmm. The only thing I am afraid of is that Eva and Star are both athletes, and if they are looking to throw the tribe strength argument at someone, it is going to be against Bianca.
Correct.
100%. So I'm going to need her to fight as hard as she can to make sure that argument is invalidated as quickly as possible.
Frankly, I don't want this tribe to go to tribal at all.
Neither do I.
Pre-bridge. Yeah.
Granted, I don't think I can think of anyone necessarily in this entire game so far. I'd necessarily be like, yeah, I don't really want you going home. So
I've got a couple.
Okay.
It's not Bianca, I can tell you that much. But let's talk about Chrissy Sarnowsky. I am curious whether she will end up going by Sarnowsky. I'm intrigued and I'm excited and I would like to know. She is our oldest contestant this season at 55. She's from the south side of Chicago, specifically the south side of
Chicago. Yeah.
She is a fire lieutenant. She talked about getting into becoming a firefighter and an EMT after being in a nasty motorcycle accident and thinking it was fun. Like firefighting was fun. That's what I think is the funniest part of her. 3 words to describe her are badass, lucky, and generous. Previous players that she identifies with, she said Carolyn, our dear sweet Carolyn. I love it. I'm here for it.
I love it.
She was herself, and that's how I intend to play, be myself, except maybe lie a little. What she values in an alliance partner is she's looking for someone I can connect with. I know we're all in it to win, but if you have someone that has your back at least a final 5, that would be ideal. Pet peeves include when someone doesn't wipe off gym equipment and leaves it all sweaty. Agreed. And why will she be the sole survivor? I'm doing this for me and my family and friends. I have friends fighting cancer. My mother is getting older. I want to help all of them.
Aww.
She just seems very real. And I like that. I don't know how well Chrissy is going to do, unfortunately. I think she's got a tenacity about her that I really appreciate. It doesn't seem like she has all of the knowledge in the world, and in fact talked about how she doesn't love super fans. So yeah.
I think she specifically, I mean, the tribe is going to see her as the motherly figure because any older woman in the Game of Survivor immediately gets pinned as a mother. I would not be surprised if she at least gets brought into alliances, but I mean, I'd really have to see her push strategically. I think she might get outshined by other people. But I mean, it will be interesting to see if her and my brain has stopped functioning. Her and Joe link up, but as we have also said, those are the two people we're not sure about strategically. So we'll see if that happens at all.
We will see. I'm intrigued by her. Again, I don't know how she's going to do, but I'm certainly intrigued. So, star, because she's a star, baby. Nope. Anyway. Oh, I don't have to worry about copyright on this channel.
Yeah, you don't.
Star. Hey, guess what? Woo gay. Gay it up.
Woo gay.
Woo gay. Star is 28. Originally from Liberia. Monrovia, Liberia, to be specific. Currently in Augusta, Georgia. She is a sales expert. 3 words to describe her are hilarious, smooth, and laugh out loud funny, which is not 3 words, Star. So you immediately also go on my side eye list of,
Take her off the list now.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Laugh out loud funny is not 1 word, it's 2. And
I don't care.
With
I don't
words.
care. I don't
nope.
care.
Anyway,
I don't care. Star is funny enough for it.
Previous players she identifies with the most. This is redeeming her. I identify most with a mix of Marianne and Sandra Diaz-Twine. Goofy but serious. I know how to handle business while also having a good time. What she values in an alliance partner is loyalty and honesty. If I can't trust my alliance partner even just a little, that means we should not be in an alliance. And why will she be the sole survivor? Because the stars align for Star. This is my game to win. I can't go back to my wife without the $1 million. She'll change the locks. LOL, JK.
So from her press interviews, Star has actively said she does not stop talking, and every single word out of her mouth is fucking hilarious. So I want to see her and Kamilla meet up just to make fun of other people. Literally the person I am rooting for, I think, the most out of this entire cast. She is the second youngest person on this cast. I want to also say she played semi-professional basketball. So she is an athlete. So it would not surprise me to see her go very, very far on the season.
I mean, Woo Gay gayed up. I love her.
Woo Gay,
I'm a big fan. Especially exactly. Woo Gay, mother gay. She's literally mother.
Yeah.
She's literally a mother. But she's literally mother. And for that, I'm here for it. So, I like her. I like her a lot.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's nothing more to say other than I literally will be going after her in every single draft that I have.
Good for you. I wish you nothing but the best.
And if any of you try and stop me, you will know. You will know. Yeah, I know. I know. This is less of like me saying it and more of a threat.
Oh, good. Okay. We'll see. And last up is Mary. Mary is 31, currently in Philadelphia. She's a substance abuse counselor. 3 words to describe her are chaotic, dynamic, and thoughtful. She talked a lot about her parents, and how her parents helped lead the Tiananmen Square protests in 1989, which I think is really interesting. Previous players that she identifies with. She said, identify with Ben because although he was pinned as a threat, his relentless gameplay ensured he was never voted out. The man played like his life depended on it. But I'd also play like Kenzie, who went to every reward because by nature I'm a social butterfly. I will flit around, providing comfort, care, and laughter to my tribe mates. What she values in an alliance partner is the ability to shut off your emotions in favor of what's best logistically or strategically. I can't have an alliance partner popping off at someone we need for numbers, thereby potentially alienating them or wanting to vote out a shield just because they want revenge. Pet peeves include slow drivers in the left lane, food that you pay for that sucks, inefficiency, being told what to do, and people who overpromise and underdeliver. Yes to all of those, Mary. I agree with you completely.
Yeah, no, I'm on board.
And why will she be the sole survivor? I'm a bundle of contradictions, so I can be whatever I need to be whenever I need to be. I'm chaotic, but also careful and controlled. I'm easygoing and can befriend anyone, but intense and will be on the whole time. Think Ben searching for idols at all hours. I move through the world with my intuition leading, so I'll be able to sense any sneaky business or deceitful intentions.
Yeah, I mean, Mary comes off as the offbeat of the cast. I mean, she straight up said, I got into my current job of substance abuse counseling after I hitchhiked across the Mediterranean, talked to people the whole time, and went, you know what? I really enjoy just talking and getting people out of these situations. I mean, she has volunteered for Crisis Hotline for years. Mm-hmm. She is going to be someone who can do a lot under stress. And I think she's going to be one to look out for. My only fear is that she might get pinned very early for being too chaotic if Vula ends up going to tribal relatively quickly. And that sucks because I really don't want her to.
No, I do really like her. I think she has one of my favorite reasons for wanting to apply for Survivor, in that she watched Heroes versus Villains and decided she wanted to apply after seeing how bad everyone was at swimming.
Yeah.
Iconic, methinks, just a little bit. Yeah, I really like Mary. I could see her getting the tribe strength kind of note early. I hope that doesn't happen, but it could happen. But yeah, I like her a lot. I think she's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I really have enjoyed the vibe that she's given off through her press, so I am very ready to see what she brings.
Yep. And here we have our beautiful tribes in their beautiful tribe designations. Our green tribe is Vula, which consists of Stephanie, Say, Justin, Mary, Cedrek, and Kevin. Gotta say, Kevin with the biceps, not mad at it.
Oh, not mad at all.
No, not mad at all. I think this tribe is really intriguing. I think there's a lot of different ways that dynamics could go. I don't know. This tribe gives me the biggest question mark out of any of them, honestly.
I genuinely don't know where this tribe will head. Yeah. I think they're going to be strong at challenges, so I don't think that'll be a problem. Yeah. But at the same time, if they lose a challenge, it really
there's a variety of options as far as who could get eliminated.
My thought is it's probably either Justin or Mary if I had to make a snap judgment. Okay. But at the same time, I really don't know.
I don't either. We shall see.
We shall see.
Our purple tribe this season is Loggy. This is Star, Bianca, Joe, Eva, Thomas, and Shauhin. Honestly, based on energy from preseason, 5 of these people fit the energy perfectly, and there is an absolute standout for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And that's Joe.
Yeah. This is, I can already feel this is going to go down in the track record of Purple Tribes somehow getting a bunch of drugs and going crazy. And then Joe is going to be there.
This is the woo gay it up tribe.
And it's going to be a fucking ride.
At least 2. I have not identified whether there are more than 2 on this tribe. Protect this tribe with everything. And vote Joe off first if you need to, please.
Yes, please.
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm begging, please. Because I really like everyone else on this tribe. Like, if they go to tribal after voting out Joe first, I might sob. Like, I need this tribe to be successful, please. For the love of God, I need this tribe to be successful. But then we have our orange tribe, which is Siva, David, Kamilla, Kyle, Mitch, Charity, and Chrissy. I think this tribe, off the bat, immediately screams physically dominant. More than either of the other 2. This tribe feels very physically dominant, very potentially dominant early. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, David, I think, could straight up carry the rest of this tribe on his back and probably be fine. And then as well, we have Chrissy, who's a firefighter, Mitch, who's a PE teacher, Kyle. Like, it feels like there's a lot of strength in this tribe just inherently. So I am very interested to see what way this goes. But my issue is I don't know what direction I'd even pray for this tribe to go in if they lose, because
right.
Well, I mean, I do, but it definitely wouldn't happen.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's it.
But that's that. That is Survivor 48 in a nutshell, as we currently know it. Over the next couple of days and weeks, we will obviously get more preseason stuff. Survivor 48 is premiering on February 26th, so we've got just under a month until the premiere. We will be back with some sort of maybe preseason drafting of some kind, situation, potential video.
Once we have more info, essentially.
Once we figure out, quite frankly, once we figure out what we're doing, you all will see what we're doing. And then we will be back shortly after the premiere on February 26th to talk about the premiere of Survivor 48. I'm very excited. I think this cast brings a lot of chaos, and that makes me excited because I love when Survivor is at its most chaotic. So I, for one, am thrilled. But let us know all of your preseason faves down in the comments below. Who are you rooting for? What tribes are you rooting for? All that lovely, wonderful jazz. Subscribe here. We've got so much content happening here at the Cup TV right now. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So definitely, if you have not already, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. It is greatly appreciated because it means that we can do more fun, cool stuff for you all. So make sure to check out all the content we have going on right now as well. We've got Deal or No Deal Island. We've got Love Island. We've got Project Runway. We've got The Traders. Oh, I'm probably forgetting another show. We've got Australian Survivor here soon.
The Challenge All-Stars is now starting.
Literally starting in like 30 minutes. Yeah, all of that. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share on the way out. Check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, our Patreon, our social media, and where you can get your merch. I forgot to do the merch plug at the start of the video because today has been a wild fucking day. LanaJCreations.etsy.com. That link has been on your screen the entire time if you're watching the audio version, but the link is in both the audio and YouTube description, and we do ship around the world, so there are no excuses. You can get a mug, you can get all of our other cute merch. And with that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. So, cheers!
Cheers.
Woo!